everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel Ray, and today I have a little Wipnchat for you. So feel free to pull up a chair, bring out your diamond painting or whatever you might be working on, crafting on at the moment, and join me. We are going to be working on the Ghost Maker by Die Moon Shop. This painting is a 60 by 90 round drill painting, and I've gotten quite a bit done. I've gotten 2 rows completed, and I am now on the 3rd. We are going to grab the color B. I ran the last diamond painting session I had, I ran out of the O, but I've got more, but they're in the baggies, and I'll do that later. We'll see how far we can get without having to refill the container. So, how are you doing today? Happy Thursday. This video is a little bit late. I intended to make a video for Wednesday, as I like the alliteration of Wipnchat Wednesday, but unfortunately life had other plans, and by the time that I had a moment to sit down and actually film something, I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I couldn't do it, but that's okay. That happens too sometimes. So let's see what's been going on in my life at the moment. Truthfully, I've just been trying to get things together to make it easier for myself, because I know that winter is coming. Winter is coming. And, you know, things get harder in the winter for me, emotionally. So I like to kind of take a minute to like prepare myself and get ready. One of the things that I have to prepare is taxes. Yay. Over here, the tax season ends at, you know, the time that seems the most logical, which is January 1st is when the new tax year begins. So I just want to make sure that I have everything from the last 3 quarters done so that I can easily do my last quarter, and try to stay on top of it for these last few months, because this time of year is it's gonna go fast, y'all. It is September 15th. We have 3 months till Christmas, 3 months and 10 days till Christmas, and I'm not prepared. In fact, today I'm so not prepared that today I went on to Amazon. I was looking at Halloween costumes, and like, this is pure vanity, okay? I do not have anywhere to go. I don't currently know of any parties. There's probably going to be, like, you know, some pub that's going to host a Halloween costume party. Do I want to spend €100 on a costume? I'm not so sure. It would be really cute, though. I was thinking about dressing up as Merida, because she's one of my favorites, and also because that color scheme, just chef's kiss. It works with my skin tone. It wouldn't clash. Makes sense, but the price tag doesn't make sense, especially right now with the way the things are. So I am rethinking, and I'm probably just going to dress up as myself for Halloween. But for those of you out there that have kids, I totally feel your pain. I don't want to dress up the same thing that I would dress up as every single year. I do it because, you know, it's more cost effective that way, but I'm just kind of tired of dressing up as the same character. I was even looking at Winnie Sanderson from Hocus Pocus, because the Hocus Pocus 2 movie is coming out this year. And I was like, ooh, I could be Winnie Sanderson. Because again, the whole red hair, green or blue, yeah, that's the color palette. So I was like, am I ready? Am I ready to evolve into a Winnie Sanderson? Because that costume is more than just a costume. That's a whole personality that you got to take on. So I'm thinking about it. I don't know. But it's basically the same price for the wig and And the dress, it looks like it's going to cost about the same, but I don't know how I feel about it. So we'll see. It's not like, you know, it's not a need. It's not a need. It's not necessary, and we're all kind of pinching pennies right now, so just getting prepared. We had speaking of pinching pennies, the gas guy came to the house yesterday to have a look at our tank. We have natural gas that heats our house, and by the way, if you're just coming to my videos for the first time, hi. I'm Rachel. I am a person who grew up in America, and now I live in Ireland. I'm not moving. I live here. I got married to an Irishman, and we moved to his local town. We met in South Korea. It's a long story. But actually, I have videos about that if you want to go check it out. But I digress. The reason that's important is because of the way that the houses are heated here. So our natural gas heats our radiators. We have radiators. They're these metal sheets basically that are plugged into the pipes, and then these little gas pipes go around your house, and they heat up the radiators. And unfortunately, it's not the most eco-friendly, and it just doesn't work well. The best heating, in my opinion, is actually a hot water bottle. So last year we were feeling good, we were feeling a bit lush, and we ran the radiators. But this year we're going to have to be a little bit more conscientious of our energy usage, and because it's going to cost more. It's not just about saving the planet. It's going to cost a lot more. So the gas guy came, he inspected it. I was like, what is going on? Because we were not expecting him. Basically, he just said, I'm here to take a look at the tank, and I think you're due an upgrade. I was like, oh, upgrade. He said, he had one look at it. He was like, oh my God, yeah. This is a really old tank. You're going to get an upgrade. They're going to come out in the next while. I don't know how long a while is, but whatever he thinks a while is. There will be some people coming to give us a new gas tank. And that'll be good, because then we for sure won't have any leaks. Kind of impossible to tell if you have a leak from the outside, but if you go through your gas quite fast, I suppose. But anyway, that'll be nice. We're gonna get that. But yeah, this winter, hot water bottles all the way around. I've got 3 now. So we'll just be heating up water in the kettle and then holding on to the bottle for as long as it stays warm. Because those suckers will stay warm for a long time. They'll stay warm for like an hour. And the good thing about them is that, so if you're wrapped up on the couch and you've got like a blanket around you, you can move the water bottle to your feet, or, you know, whatever you need. We also have an open fireplace in our house, so we'll most likely be having fires at night. But again, I don't know what our fuel situation is going to be like this year. Usually we use turf, which is peat. Peat is not used in America that I know of for burning in home fires, but I'm not really up to the know on that, because I grew up in a house with a gas fireplace that was just basically for decoration and for use on like 3 days a year. New Year's, Christmas, and Thanksgiving. That was it. So I don't really know if you can buy peat or whatever, but I live in the land of peat. It sounds funny when I say it like that. It's not peat like the man's name, Pete, P-E-A-T. It's basically ancient forest that has been condensed, like pushed and pushed and pushed and crushed into a solid matter, organic matter that you can burn. It's not soil. It didn't never turn into soil. It turned into like almost like a clay. But when you dry out this clay is not the right word. When you dry out the earth, you can burn it. It's actually quite scary because sometimes in the summer, if it's a really dry summer, it can catch fire very easily and it can burn for a very long time, these fields of peat. So that is the plan. You know, do what we do, but we're going to be a little bit more aware this year. And I'm going to try my best to be more active to keep the blood flowing more. Last few years, I haven't been very physically active. It's not that I've been lazy. And I think that a lot of people can relate. It's not laziness. It's like it's defeatism. But I'm ready to move forward. And, you know, I've been saying it a lot. I'm trying to get healthier. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. So please excuse my slurp. It's good coffee. So that's the idea this winter. And I wanted to tell you guys about what's going on, like our upcoming trips and stuff, because I'm starting to get excited and I want to share that excitement with y'all. We are planning some getaways, and mostly they're all falling around the same time. I'm not really sure why, but let's talk about it. So let's talk about what's coming up that's good to look forward to as we're entering into this very cold, dark winter, I'm sure. First thing that is coming up is in early November, we're going to be heading away to the Canaries, which is a string of islands that are owned by Spain. They are actually quite close to Morocco, which is where we took our honeymoon back in 2017. And it's a really beautiful spot. It is, the Canaries have active volcanoes, and it's warm almost all year round. I'm pretty sure it's actually, for some of us, it is warm all year round. We booked a holiday so that we could kind of, I was trying to explain. So if you don't know, I have a Patreon and I make vlogs over there. And I was speaking to people who watch the vlogs and talking about how when we went on our honeymoon at that time when we got married, we didn't have money. Like, it wasn't, you know, I didn't have any additional income. I didn't have a business. I didn't, you know, we were working as, what would you call us? What's the word? Hold on. Sometimes I struggle to find words. Give me a second. Phone operators. So I was a customer service agent for a company that was an airline, which I'm not going to name names, but I worked for a company who hired us to answer phones for another company. So I wasn't directly employed by the airline. I was employed by a secondary company, a communications company, if you will, a phone call center situation. And that was the hardest, most stressful job of my life. And I'm not even joking. Like, I've had some pretty bad jobs, okay? I've worked as a janitor. I've done some things. I developed panic attacks because of this job. So at that time, when we got married, we were both working in this call center, and we just could not save money. There was no money to be had. All of our money went to bills. We had a shoestring budget for our wedding, which is fine because neither of us wanted to spend a lot of money on a wedding anyway. No matter how much Pinterest wanted to change our minds about that. And our wedding was wonderful. It was fantastic. But we only had a budget of maybe €700, maybe, for our trip to Morocco. So we backpacked it. We stayed in a few lovely spots, and if anybody needs, recommendations, sure, I could probably do a little video on it if you want, but I don't have any footage from back then or anything. I'm not a travel vlogger for a reason, but I really enjoyed our trip up until the point where I, twisted my ankle and broke the tendon. But in my mind, when I was, when we were looking at honeymoons and we were thinking about, where are we going to go? Want it to be special. I'm going to be honest with you, Morocco was not on top of my list. It did end up on the top of my list because I had to reevaluate my wants with the amount of money that I had available to me. And my first pick was actually Mauritius. Mauritius is a lovely string. I'm pretty sure it's a string of islands. It's when you think Mauritius, you think shallow ocean water with these beachy bungalows and crystal clear water. You can see the fish. You're like going to restaurants under the sea, because I love the ocean, and that kind of thing really appeals to me. I wanted an all-inclusive, big fluffy bathrobe, like just give everything to me. Now, that just isn't possible. You need to have at least, well, these days it's even more expensive, but you would need at least like €2,500. That's like $3,000. You would need a lot of money to go to a place like that, a resort where you're getting, not room service, but just like, your all of your food and your drinks are included and all that stuff. And it makes sense. It makes sense that it would cost that much, and I'm not denying why it costs so much. No shade or anything. It's just that we weren't in a position for that. We were in a position where we took the cheapest flights that were possible, which we're doing now as well. We don't really care about the flight. But then it was all like, we're taking buses from point A to point B. We only took one cab ride, I think, the whole time. It was just very low budget, which is fun. Okay. Very fun. But for the last, how long have we been married? We've been married since September 3rd of 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. We've been married for 6 years. I want to go on a vacation with my husband, and I want it to be a bit more bougie. Okay, I'm a bougie person. I can stifle the bouge for a little while, but I wanted the bougie. So we've been saving up for a very, very long time. I have been saving my money for years, okay? And I decided we're going to go to the Canaries. We're going to go all inclusive. Now, I did not upgrade us to like the super fancy The hotel we're going to is nice. Don't get me wrong, but it is not top dollar. Okay, we're not going to Donald Trump's place. We're not spending all this money on that sort of thing. We're getting there. We're having our all-inclusive meals. The drinks start, like, they're certain drinks at certain times of the day, that sort of thing, which I think is kind of normal. Pretty sure there's no champagne upon arrival, but I'm gonna ham it up. I'm gonna ham it up. I'm gonna be like, because of the pandemic, I mean, everybody's gonna do that, but that's kind of like expected at this point. Okay, if I don't shoot my shot, it's not gonna happen. So, that is happening in early November. So I'm gonna have a little time off at the beginning of November. Then what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Is the next thing Stitch North? I think it might be. Let me check is my computer on? Hello? Okay. September, November. We're not doing anything for Christmas. We typically don't. It would be fun to get away with family around January or February. February is my birthday. I have no plans. I'm turning 36. March, April, May. So the first weekend of May is Stitch North just outside of Toronto in Canada, and it's our next really big holiday. I am so excited. Actually, I need to contact my family. My family in Canada, they do not live near Toronto, but they live more like on the Ottawa end. So I'll have to contact them and just be like, hi, I'm in the area if you're, hi. And then we've got friends that live in Toronto as well. Actually, we have loads of friends that live in Toronto. I miss them so much. After the pandemic, like normally the last time we went to Toronto in 2019, right before the pandemic, it was September of 2019. We went to my friend's wedding, our friend's wedding. And, oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And I think that's when nope, that's not when we did Niagara Falls, is it? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember. No, it's not. Because we went from... Did we go? I can't remember which way we went. I have Wipnchats from that time if you want to go check it out. I try to link it every Wipnchat video, but up in the eye... Excuse me, I got a cough. Sorry. Up in the eye, I link the playlist of Wipnchat videos where I do these kind of catch-ups. So if you want to go back to a certain point of time, you can do that. But I can't remember if we did Toronto first and then the US, or if we did it the other way around. Anyway, one time we went up to Canada, and I think James and I flew to Toronto. This is before the wedding. I think this was 2017 or 18, maybe 2018. But see, my point is that we traveled a lot before the pandemic. I love to travel. I love it. I love liminal spaces. I love being away from home and like seeing new things and trying new food and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure that lots of people enjoy that. I know that not everybody does, but I really, really do. And so we did go to Toronto before, like the year before the wedding, I think. We went to Toronto, visited our friends. Then we went down to... Is this the way that we did it? Maybe. We either went over to Perth and went to the lake cabin for a weekend with my grandparents. My grandfather was alive at the time. And we met up with family, and then we went... Yeah, I think that's what happened. Then we went to Niagara Falls. Oh my God, that was amazing. And then we drove back and hopped in the car and went back down to the States with family. That was not the time. The time before that, back in 2014, when I brought James over to meet my family for the first time, that was interesting. We ended up taking a road trip from Virginia to Florida, and stopping in Georgia. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. I miss traveling. That's all I'm getting at. I do miss travel, and I'm ready to get back into it. I think that I know that we're not going to be 100% out of the danger zone, so to speak, but it definitely feels like, for me, I feel like I'm out of the danger zone, and I could travel much easier than I did during the pandemic, because I don't know if you know this, you might be new to my channel. I traveled back to the States and I stayed there for 3 months. December, hang on. I arrived in the middle of December, or the beginning of December, and I stayed with my friend Jessie, who's mislaid pages here. I stayed with them for a week or 5 days or something to make sure that I didn't test positive. Then I went to my grandparents, and I was there for the winter holidays. And I was supposed to travel back on New Year's Eve to be here for my anniversary, because I have a relationship anniversary with my husband on the 1st of January. That's when we met. That's when we officially started dating, on the 1st. And that was back in 2012, the 1st of January, 2012. When I got there, I knew that it was terminal. He had cancer, and it was terminal. It was lung cancer. And they knew that he didn't have much longer to go. But they didn't know how long. But he had been just put under hospice. Like, stay at home and get ready to croak. Excuse me. So, he had hospice nurses coming in to check on him like once a week, administering medication sometimes, shots, the drill. And so I saw him, and I decided I'm going to stay another month. I said it was the week between, Christmas and New Year's. And I said, I'm going to extend my time here. And I talked to James, and I talked to friends, and I was like, I'm here. It's the pandemic. Like, this was before vaccines. I was like, it wouldn't be safe for me to keep going back and forth anyway. And I had a really bad trip leaving Ireland and getting over to Virginia. So, like, whew. If you watch that Wipnchat, that was something else. So let me keep diamond painting. Sorry. So, and now I've lost my train of thought. Yes, I ended up extending my vacation until my birthday. And I was like, all right, I will travel back around the time of my birthday. I can't remember what day exactly I chose, but around the end of February. And I'm really glad I did, because at the second week of January is when things started, like the ball started rolling, and he started getting really bad. And I don't want to get into it now, because this isn't that kind of Wipnchat, but I was there. Needless to say, I stayed there until the 1st of April. My grandfather passed on February the 4th, 2nd. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's morning. I have morning brain. He passed really early in the morning and very early in the month. And I originally was staying just long enough to help with the estate, with, well, I call it the estate. I don't know what people call it. Just to get things in order for my grandmother, because now she was, recently widowed, and she didn't have anyone to look after her or anyone to be near her at that time. So I wanted to be there. And then I was waiting because my dad decided that he was going to move up, and it did take a month. And of course it did. It's not like you can do that very quickly, but I stayed there, and that was the most that I traveled. That is the most that I have traveled since. We went, where did we go last? Did we go somewhere last year? I think, I went to Germany. That's what happened. I went to Germany to visit my friend Heike, who's Stone Cold Coffee Crafts, and that happened this year, the beginning of this year, was that April? April. It was Easter. And that was amazing because, well, one, love traveling, love liminal spaces, love it all. Give it to me anytime, I will go. And also visiting a friend, check. Going to a country I've never been to before, check. It was super exciting. Even if a lot of things were not at 100% yet, because at the time, we were still under lots of restrictions and things. But it was, oh my God, it was fantastic. I cannot wait to go again. So during this time, since then, we have made quite a few plans. We're going away to the Canaries. We are going to Canada next year. What was the other thing? We were thinking about going to the music festival again. So we went to a music festival this year. We went in May, and it was fantastic. And our friend wants us to go again next year. I don't know if we can, because we are going to Stitch North, and then we're going back down to the US, and it's going to be a very big trip. I just don't know if I'm going to have the energy to go to a music festival after that, but that music festival was life-changing. I really enjoyed that trip. It's been a long time since I went to a music festival, and there were such amazing people there. And I wanted to be able to experience more aspects of it, because they had all these yoga classes and all the stuff that was on the side that we didn't do. We tried to listen to as much music as possible while we were there, of course. But this time I'd love to relax into it and just have a few, different experiences as well. By the way, if you get Diamond Shop, honestly, the trash drills on this is just excess resin. It's no biggie. There's very little trash, and it's super shiny, and I really, really like it. But yeah, so lots of traveling. I cannot wait to continue this journey. I feel like if I'm stuck in one place, I just get really depressed. It's not my preferred method of living my life. I want to meet new people and see new things. And I was hoping, when the pandemic actually right before the pandemic happened, I had plans to go to China, to Japan, and it all got messed up, obviously. And those are postponed until who knows when. But yeah, that's just the way it is sometimes, and you gotta go with the flow. But it was hard to go with the flow because people were getting hurt, you know what I mean? But now I think we're back to a somewhat normal state. I hesitate to say that. It's not normal. But I'm trying to stay positive for myself because I know how easy it is for me to get sucked into a really negative way of thinking about the world. And so I'm just going to do everything that I can to make it a fun and vibrant future for myself, because that is the kind of person that I am. And that's what I want. So, wow, that was a big ramble. Where are we at? Oh my God, you've been listening to me 36 minutes about like literally one thing. We have done all the B's. Have we? B. Yes, we've done all the B's. So I can put this back and we can open up that other color. So let's talk about the stuff that I'm up to. But first, I'm going to pause you because this is going to be very crinkly, like way too crinkly. Okay, I'm back. So, I just had to go and change my coffee. Turns out that the milk has gone off. That was awful. That was an experience. Again, y'all, if you're experiencing static, just blow into your bag and it will dissipate. I'm going to put the rest of them in here. Oops, they're stuck in the corner. So I am currently participating in Drills and Chills, which is run by Diamonds and Washi Candy, and really enjoying it. I'm also doing a few stitching challenge things. If you would like to check it out, I'm actually trying to raise money right now by running auctions over on my Facebook page. So if you're watching this on, is it today? Is the 15th, is it? Come here, turn on. September 15th. So if you're watching before the 17th, go check out my Facebook page because I am trying to raise money by selling some really hard to find items, of which there are diamond paintings there as well. So I would highly recommend you checking it out. I'll make sure that I have a link to my Facebook down below and you can go see. But I've got a wonderful person in my life who has donated these kits, and they are donating the shipping, like they're paying for the shipping as well. I don't have to pay for the shipping, which is incredible. And there's Giselle and the Brave One this week, as well as a fully kitted Heaven and Earth design for my own stash that I am auctioning up as well. And yeah, it would be great if you went and checked it out because it's for a good cause. If you don't have the money, it's perfectly fine. I understand. I will be running raffles as well over on Twitch for things that I have so that we can raise money as well. I mean, September is not the only month that I'll be doing this. I'll be doing this next month as well, at least for the first 2 weeks of October. I don't think I'll be doing auctions on the last week of September because I already have a busy week without auctions being involved. But yeah, the start of October, I will see them. I will be doing them again. I need boundaries. I've been working on that part of me, knowing when my cup overfloweth. Sometimes it can get a little bit hectic, but I am working on it, and it is getting better, which is wonderful. What else is going on? Luna's doing well. Luna is sitting here in her little donut. Yeah, she's a good girl. Excuse me. I lost my voice for a second. I actually, just before I tell you about Luna, this is your reminder that you can add hot chocolate mix to your coffee, especially if you run out of milk. They taste so good. So yes, bring it on. I'm not a pumpkin spice person. I'm much more a peppermint person. So hot chocolate tastes closer to what peppermint feels like for me. Does that make sense? I don't know if anybody understands what I'm talking about, but love it. Luna's doing fine. She's doing great. Her leg is fully healed now, so she is fine. She did gain a lot of weight though, because she's not as active. She sleeps a lot, but she's not in pain, which is the main thing. She's restful, and that is great. We are going to go for a WALK after I finish recording this. Hi, baby. I hope you haven't learned how to spell yet. That would be awkward. Hi. Hi. Yeah, you're a good girl. Ooh, that's a stretch. Thank you. I'm trying to... Off, please. Off. Off, off. Thank you. Go lay down. I am trying to get her hair to grow back. Her fur is not growing back as fast as I thought that it would. I guess she hasn't hit her, her growth spurt, her hair spurt. So she goes through 2 sheds a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And I am expecting her to start shedding any day now, but maybe that's when the hair grows back. I don't know. Until then, I have supplements that I'm giving her, so hopefully those work. And lots of love. Lots of love. And massages, right? So, good girl. But other than that, things are going really well. We don't have any complaints. She's been on her best behavior. We do miss Cosmo, my friend's dog who was here for 5 weeks. We miss Cosmo a lot. He was a great addition to the family for that short amount of time. And he really fit in perfectly with us, and we are just not fully on board with getting another dog right now. I am, but we aren't. If you know what I mean. It's a big change, and I get it. It's a lot to ask. Also, truthfully, honestly, I think that little Miss Lou is going to be my last dog for a long time. I would like to have cats, and I cannot have cats with her. So once she reaches the end and she has to say goodbye, then I will be getting a kitten or a cat, full-fledged cat, so we know what kind of personality it has, and bring it into our home. I've been wanting this for years. I've always been a cat person. I am not as much a dog person. I love dogs. I love dogs. But if you asked me what kind of a person I am a cat person. I don't have the patience for, a lot of dogs. And having a collie is not easy. Do not get a collie unless you like training dogs. There are moments where I question myself and my sanity because I got a rescue collie, and that's like double the work. Like, don't do that. Don't do that unless you are an experienced dog trainer. I know that is my fault. I accept that it's my fault. But it's only now that she's older that, she's chilled out. At the very beginning, I was just so overwhelmed. So overwhelmed. But yeah, I'm a cat person. Love cats. And I'll probably always be that way. So one day, when I'm not rushing it, okay? But one day when the time comes, I'm going to get myself a kitty, and it shall be my kitty. We shall call it Kitty. Did I tell you about Finding Nemo? Did I tell you that I forced James to watch Finding Nemo? I don't know if I did or not, but I made James watch Finding Nemo for the first time in his life. And now he understands all the references that I say. And I didn't realize how often I quote that movie or reference that movie. I haven't even watched it that many times. I thought that I would be referencing Emperor's New Groove more because that is my video, like the movie from my childhood, or my adolescence, I should say, that defined me as a person. Honestly. Yes. Everything about that movie screams Rachel. So he finally watched it, and it was wonderful, and he was not overwhelmed with awe and joy like I was hoping, but at least he watched it. At least he watched it. Speaking of, I made a big move. And I know it's too late. Like, I'm not an influencer. I am an enabler. I am not an influencer. If I were an influencer, you would have seen posts from me ahead of time, advertising this thing and trying to convince you all to do it. It's done. It's over. You can't do it now. So it's safe to tell you about it. Friends. I made the decision to stay with Amazon Prime. I was going to cancel. I do not like giving money to Jeff Bezos, but I didn't realize I was on a monthly plan and I was paying way more money than I should have, but I do use the service quite often because I live in a rural place and Amazon delivers here, and it delivers here fast. It means that I don't have to drive 2 hours to get stuff that I need. And if I plan ahead of time, it's really helpful for us. So bear with, I'll get some more coffee. Don't forget to hydrate, by the way. So I looked at the prices. I looked at what the prices were about to jump up to. And yesterday I made the decision to extend or to change over to the yearly plan, the yearly billing cycle, saving 25 pounds, 20 pounds, something like that. And that's a lot of money. I was paying $8.99 a month, or was it $7.99? $7 or $8.99 pounds a month. And I decided to get one more year. Now, I plan to use the ish out of this, okay? I get Amazon Music, I get Amazon Prime Video, and all that stuff. I do not have an Echo, but I kind of wish I had one, because now I could just be like, hey, name of unit that does the thing, play this playlist, and play my playlist. I could add whatever I want to my playlist, and then I could just have free floating music at my house. That would be nice. We're not there yet. We'll see. There's still holidays coming up. Maybe I can get a Dot or something for the kitchen, because it would be nice. That's the one time where I really need music to distract me from doing my chores, distract me to do my chores. I like to play music just to zone out in my own brain, because otherwise I overthink everything and it becomes debilitating. Yeah. Still, though, okay, update. Mental health update. Yay. I've noticed that the voices are going. Now, I don't have DID, okay? I'm not. When I say the voices, what I mean is my own internal monologue of chatter, of me talking to myself. It's like my brain talks to me. And it's me, but it's different. And it is constant, and it is so annoying. And for those of you who don't have that, wow, life must be really easy, because I don't know how to explain this. And I'm sure that there are people, oh my God, it's so sunny all of a sudden. I'm sure there are people out there that'll explain it way better than me. But my life is normally me trying to outwit my own brain and to overcome the negative self-talk that my brain does to me. So I don't feel like I'm in control of that most of the time. And certainly not when I was going through my clinical depression phase, which I'm calling it a phase, but it's something that I have to live with forever. It's at bay at the moment, but I know that it could come back, and I know what that feels like. So at the moment, I am not struggling with the voice that sabotages, makes things more difficult, makes tasks take a lot longer, keeps me from completing things that need to be done, like just regular life stuff. Paying my phone bill, making sure that my car insurance is paid on time, planning YouTube, Patreon live streams and Zooms. Things that are so simple, so easy. I can literally click, click, click and have it done right now. But there is this thing, some people call it the black dog, that prevents us from doing things. It's really difficult, and it's really hard to overcome that. Now, I don't have a secret. There's no secret. I made a conscientious decision earlier this year that I was going to go to therapy, and I was going to try to get past this, because I've already been living with this for 10 years. I don't want to continue this cycle. And with the help of my therapist and also my doctor, I've been able to kind of reach the end of this phase, I think. It's a daily thing that I'm really trying to stay on top of. And you know what I find is that I have to watch out for what I consume. I love my friends to death. But sometimes there are topics that if they come up in conversation online, I have to either turn off, I have to skip ahead, I have to walk away, because There are some things that I just can't deal with right now, and I think that that's okay. Some people might disagree with me. Some people will be like, you have to face these things. They're not going to go away. That's great. I need to learn the tools first. And so what I do right now is I respectfully walk away. When something is stressful or causing me anxiety and, making me feel some kind of way, I just say, y'all, I got a piece. And I am sad that I have to say that I have to do that quite often, actually. But I am protecting myself. I am cocooning my inner child at the moment. I'm working on things, and I am finding that it is much easier. I'm not a therapist, okay, y'all. I'm not licensed to help you at all. I just want to make that clear. But in my experience, if I find that I'm getting overwhelmed by something, I know that it may not be the fault of the person. It may very well be. It may be something triggering that was meant to be so. But yeah, it's, I just try to respectfully walk away from conversations that I have no business listening to right now. I cannot contribute to the conversation. If it makes me feel some kind of way, I just leave. And I think that that's a good thing to do, because a lot of people, myself included, before, I would just stay there and I would argue and argue and argue, or take it in and absorb it and then become doubtful of myself and my opinion of things or my worldview or whatever. Of course, it's good to be challenged. It is. It's very good to be challenged. Maybe I'm speaking a little too obtusely about this, a little too loosely, a little too vaguely for it to make sense to everyone, but it's not every situation. It's certain situations. I'm not running away from all my problems and la 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 la, I'm gonna go roll in the grass now. Everything is fine and peachy and whatever. No, no. But there are certain things that if you tried to get me into a conversation about right now, it would make me cry. It would make me angry. It would probably make me question our friendship. It's difficult. So anyway, just so you know, I'm not telling everyone to just stop talking about things, plug your ears and go run in a field of daisies. As much as that would be amazing right now, minus the allergies, life is not like that. I know that. Totally aware of that. I feel defensive right now because I can hear certain family members criticizing me in my head right now. That's where this is coming from. So I don't need to explain myself to anybody, but I trust you guys and I appreciate you all. And I want you to know what I'm going through. And for me, that has meant that I've had to reevaluate some of the friendships that I have. I have had to pull back. I've had to, from a lot of situations, and just heal a bit. So if you've noticed that I'm not around for whatever reason, it's probably not your fault. It's just me trying to figure out how I'm gonna fix this, right? And it will happen. It's happening faster than I expected. I'm doing way better than I was. And that's the truth. I mean, way better. So let's finish this color. Oh, it's 59 minutes already. Y'all, thanks for letting me dump that on you. I apologize if that was too much for anyone. But that's just That's where I am with my mental health right now. And I'm not afraid to share that with you. I think what I'm more afraid of, and again, this is something I'm working on, is being misunderstood, because I feel like there are remnants of conversations that I've had with people in my life before that are very judgmental. And you know what it is? You know what? I think that people are way more critical of their own family than they are of strangers. I think that's what it is. So just remember that we all go through different phases. We go through different life stages where different things are important to us, and that's normal. That's human. People change. People get different ideas. They might go through an evolution. We are always metamorphizing. Okay. I wanna have my butterfly moment, but that might not be today. Okay. That's fine. But yeah, I do get defensive sometimes because I just hear these, I feel the anxiety of exposing myself to a large group of people whose opinions only a very select few matter. But for whatever reason, my brain thinks that the people who matter are the ones that say the worst things. Let's psychoanalyze that for a second. That is one of the things that I'm really trying to work on, because if you've got something negative to say to me, your opinion, while you're allowed to have your opinion, does not matter to me. It doesn't need to matter as more than someone who's saying nice things. And I should be listening to people that have nice things to say. By the way, and I'm going to end my Wipnchat on this. There is a specific country in the world that has this quote unquote freedom of speech. And I see it a lot in comments and in my comments on some videos that I have a right to free speech and I can say whatever I want to say. I just want to remind people that if your country has the quote-unquote freedom of speech law, that doesn't mean that you have the freedom to be a jerk to people and have your voice stay up and be able to be read by people on the internet, because the internet is not one country. So just a little reminder that you can say, oh, I have the freedom of speech to say what I want to say. And then that is always 100% followed up with a very rude, nasty, trollish type of comment. You do not have the freedom to keep that on my page. Maybe some other people will deal and leave it up there for whatever reason. But the freedom of speech doesn't give you the right to be a jerk. Okay? It doesn't. And I'm not speaking to the people who don't leave those comments. I'm speaking to people who do. And the people who entertain that. Don't entertain that. You're allowed to protect your space. This is your space. If you're a creator, it's your space. Delete those comments. Delete those rude comments. Do not let them eat away at you. People do it on purpose to make you feel worthless so that you take up less space. Take up your space. You deserve it. You deserve to have space in the world. And if somebody wants to take up their space in the world by being a jerk and saying bad things about people and being overall really negative and nasty, that's their choice. But it doesn't mean that other people have to handle it. They don't have to take it. So I'm just going to leave you with that little nugget of thought today, because for whatever reason, lately that seems to be the argument of choice. I have the freedom of speech. you don't have the freedom to be a jerk. So, not on my page. Anyway. I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. We almost finished this section. Massive section, might I add. The other sections are only this big. But there's a lot of color changing in those sections. Let me turn off my light pad. Off. So yeah, this is where we are. I'm hoping that I can finish this row by not the end of this week, but by Wednesday of next week. So one row a week. Today's the 15th, and my goal is 1 row a week. So yeah, I'm on track. Let's keep going. Let's do this Drills and Chills thing. I hope that you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week ahead, and I will see you very soon. Don't forget about those options too. Take care, stay safe, and keep hydrated. Bye.